Hello grade 8. How are you? I hope you are fine. In this session, we are going to discuss and illustrate the Red-Headed League chapter 4. But before that, I want to remind you about some important point. A young man climbed out of the hole into the cellar. Holmes grabbed the thief's arm quickly. Holmes discovered that John Clay, the famous thief, was the person who had the Red-Headed League. That was the most important points in chapter 3. Now, I want all of you to open page 62 to read chapter 4. Please follow me sentence by sentence. Listen carefully. Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson returned to Baker Street and Holmes explained the crime to Watson. John Clay had the idea for the Red-Headed League because his friend Mr. Ross had red hair. Holmes knew that the job of copying out the encyclopedia was too foolish to be a real job. Clay and Mr. Ross invented the job because they wanted Mr. Wilson out of his shop. Why? Mr. Wilson told Holmes that Mr. Spaulding often used to work in the cellar. Holmes thought that this was unusual. Holmes asked some questions about Mr. Spaulding and found out that he was John Clay the thief. When Holmes knocked on the door of the shop, he saw that the knees of Mr. Spaulding's trousers were dirty and had holes in them. Holmes deduced that he was digging a tunnel. Oh, we want to pause on the word tunnel. What do we mean with the word tunnel? Tunnel means a long passage under or through the ground, especially one made by people. Tunnel with Mr. Ross when Mr. Wilson was not in the shop. When I saw the bank was behind Mr. Wilson's shop, I knew why they were digging a tunnel, said Holmes. They wanted to take the gold from the bank. How did you know that they wanted to take the gold on Saturday night? Asked Watson. When they closed the Red-Headed League, I knew the tunnel was finished. If they took the gold from the bank on Saturday, they would have a day and a half to escape before the bank opened on Monday, replied Holmes. Well done, Holmes, said Watson. Now, after finishing reading, I want to answer question number 1. Who can answer with me? Choose the correct definition. Number 1, digging. Digging here means letter A, making a hole. Number 2, tunnel means B, a long path under the ground. Now we will answer question number 2. Answer the questions number 1. What was Mr. Spaulding doing in the cellar? He was trying to steal the gold in the boxes. Number 2. What was Mr. Spaulding's real name? Mr. Spaulding's real name was John Clay. 3. What day did the thieves want to take the gold? On Saturday. Now we are going to answer the last question. Read the quotation and answer the questions. When they closed the Red-Headed League, I knew the tunnel was finished. If they took the gold from the bank on Saturday, they would have a day and a half to escape before the bank opened on Monday, replied Holmes. The question is, why did Holmes know that the tunnel was finished when they closed the office? Of course, to get ready to steal the gold and to have enough time to escape. They would have 1 day and a half before the bank opened on Monday. Thank you for good listening. Now we finished chapter 4 and old story. I hope you are fine now, and I hope all of you to understand the story. Thank you. Goodbye.